When did you start Sales for the Culture? When did that come about?
Late 2018, early 2019. Yeah.
And talk to me about that, because I know a few of the brothers on Sales for the Culture, man. Shout out to them, Marcus, and a few of them. You know what I mean? Shout out to the bros.
Shout out to Sales for the Culture, man. So with that, like, I was getting so many DMs from people that were, coming up in the game that were African American and really trying to understand what's going on. And they were asking me, like, hey, you're the only person I can ask, like, what does this mean? Like, I'm getting treated this way, and like, what does it actually mean? And so, up to a certain degree, I can only help you. Like, if you're like director or VP level, like, I never went that route. So I've never been an exec or at that moment. I did join another company. I was for like 8 months or 8 weeks, so this doesn't really count. But I wasn't an executive, so I couldn't speak whatever that was going on. I was like, I don't know what that means. And also there was a lot of scenarios that I didn't know, and also the volume was pretty high. So what I ended up doing is saying, hey, look, like, let's take a step back, and what we're going to do is create Sales for the Culture, and that's going to allow people to have a space where they can have conversations. And that's the reason why I created it. I just saw the need for it, and went from there.
Is it still rocking? It because I haven't seen a lot of the folks. I feel like life been lifing for a lot of people, and I haven't seen a lot of people on the feed, bro.
Exactly, life been lifing. I mean, that's really what it was. It had its great movement. It's what it was. Transparently, like, when I start things, one thing I should have done, and I've done with the business I have today, is have someone who can do the day-to-day. I started it knowing that it was important, but then as it got into like more of like actually like running the group, because I traveled so much, like, there was just so much going on. I couldn't really do it the way I wanted it to. So I believe that group, for what it was during that time, was great for people to connect, and a lot of relationships came out of that for people. I wish it would have continuously accelerated to where I wanted it to go. But I think the main thing for me on that one was I wish I would have just like found someone to be like, you're going to like run this day to day. Here's how you're going to do it. And then I'm just going to tell you the vision of what needs to be done, etc. But I think for the moment it really connected a lot of people across the board.
But it's still a void that needs to be filled, bro. So if you guys aren't doing it, who the hell's doing it? Right? I know there's some from the women's standpoint. I know Zoya is doing it. I know Chantel George is doing it with Sisters for Sales. You know what I'm saying? But like, just overall the group, right? Why aren't we all coming together? Why isn't Sister for Sales, Zoya's group for women in training? Why aren't the men groups in training? Why isn't Sales for the Culture? Why aren't we coming together and doing more fucking collaborative work, bro? I think it's ridiculous at this point.
That's a very great question. I know I got a friend out in the UK. He's got a group as well that is focused on this too, and I think it's more for like the Mia folks. I don't know why it's not all connected. I don't have an answer to that question.
It makes zero sense. But it also, like, for instance, us, right? It took us 3 years to connect, bro.
Yeah,
so I've spoken to founders of Sales for the Culture. We've had so many mutual friends around. We just haven't got to this point, right? And I think that's kind of what it is, right? It's not too many people to say in the intro. Like, what I do after every show, me and Cuzzo, after every show, we ask for the guest number, right? And we be like, yo, welcome to the family. So if there's anybody that we've talked to that you want to connect with, I don't care who it is, you let us know. We make that introduction immediately.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we trying to do shit like that, right? I don't think there's too many of that happening. Because you know why? Let's keep it all the way real, bro. Crab in a barrel mentality. Yeah. Sometimes we don't want people to outshine us. Sometimes we feel like, yo, this is my opportunity. I worked hard for this. You didn't. And I'm not going to put you in a position over things like, let's just be honest. And it's a lot of gatekeeping.
It's a lot of gatekeeping. It's unnecessary at this point.
Come on.
There's no need for it. And everyone has different skill sets. Everyone has different ways on how they're going about to market. Like, no one is going to stop you from doing what you're doing. Like, that's not going to happen. So I think ultimately at the end of the day, like, it is unfortunate that it's that way. And it definitely does need to change. But to your point, yeah, like, it shouldn't be that way at all.
We're going to do something, bro.